This report is brought to you by Hectra.org.
The places you can go with an Easy Tag, and it's not just toll roads throughout Texas. You get seamless toll travel in Oklahoma, Kansas, Florida, Colorado. Get your Easy Tag at hctra.org.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say.
Yep, that's me, Clifford Taylor IV. And on my new podcast, The Clifford Show, I'm bringing you raw, unfiltered conversations with your favorite athletes, creators, and media personalities. Each week, we'll talk about sports, life, mental health, purpose, and even music. The Clifford Show is not just a conversation, it's a celebration.
Search The Clifford Show on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
Ready? AM 1300, The Zone. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
It's Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio. LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox with you here. We are going to catch up with our guy Pete Prisco for another edition of Red Ass Tuesdays on the show coming up top of next hour, a little over 10 minutes from now. If you've missed any of today's show, though, you'll want to catch the podcast. Search Two Pros wherever you get your podcast. Right after the show, today's pod will be posted. Be sure to follow it, rate it 5 stars. You can even provide a review. Again, just search Two Pros wherever you get your podcast. You'll find today's full show and a best of version posted right after we get off the air.
You do drive the show really well, though.
What's that?
You do drive the show really well.
No.
Beep, beep.
Super talented.
Yeah, some days are better than others.
You're super talented.
Thanks, man.
And anybody who can do a show by themselves weekly is pretty impressive. Be able to talk to yourself for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's just badass. I got no one else to talk to, so why not?
You're used to it.
It's also
a little different when you're on air.
It's also the only 2 hours I get to speak English in my house. So
there's that. So good.
Jaylen Brown was on his Twitch feed and complaining about Joel Embiid and sort of called out the issue he has with today's NBA. Yeah. There's some. I promise you, he did. Jaylen Brown did. I wouldn't tell a lie like that on this show.
No,
I refuse to.
We don't have the sound of it though.
Yeah, I refuse to tell any lies on this show.
What did he say?
I thought it was just cut 505061. Is that not him?
What did he say?
I don't see it on my thing.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
Got the wrong cut sheet.
Jaylen Brown basically called out Joel Embiid, said he's a flopper. He said everybody knows it. This is sort of, where he's at with the NBA, and that the flopping in the NBA is a problem. And look, I would agree with him in that regard. I'd also agree with him in this. The Celtics missing that many shots is also a problem. Okay.
Y'all sitting at home right now is a problem.
The flopping's an issue, but also bad shooting because everybody thinks they're Steph Curry and the Warriors, I would say is maybe more of a problem than the flopping. The flopping's always been there. Vlade Divac used to flop back in the day. Everybody flops. But the bad shooting, I think, is really what a lot of people look at and go, man, this is just, it's basically just a brick fest, and it makes the league unwatchable as opposed to the flopping, which has always been there.
It makes it unwatchable because of the style in which, like, if it is a bad shooting night, it's tough. There was a string of plays in the Knicks Sixers game where I was watching with my girls and kind of talking about just watching them handle the basketball, but they probably went, shot, like back and forth, and then you go cold for a while, and you're like, all right, this kind of stinks to watch. There's not as much of an in and out game. So that I think plays as much of a role as anything.
Yeah. Well,
there's been, as you said, there's been flopping around for a while.
Yeah.
LeVar used to flop back in the day.
Oh yeah. What up, Sticks?
Hey, they teach you how to flop.
We are
floppy flop.
As you know, managing maintenance, repair, and operations is never easy. But for the ones who always rise to the challenge, Grainger has your back. From professional grade products you can count on to fast, dependable delivery, they're there to help you keep things running smoothly. Plus, their technical product specialists are here to help answer your toughest questions. And because Grainger knows safety is always a priority, they're committed to being your partner in protecting both your people and your facilities. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Drew McIntyre here from WWE. Wielding the Claymore can be a life of chaos. When I'm not dominating in the ring, Chumba Casino is how this warrior takes a wee break. With hundreds of online social games and new weekly releases, there's always something fresh to try. And those daily boosts, next level. Even my free time feels like Valhalla. So when life feels like a battle, kick up your feet, have some fun, and let's chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
From the Lawrence and Lawrence Traffic Center.
Looking at the commute this morning on I-35 northbound, already starting to slow down from 45 up to William Cannon. Right now, adding about 15 minutes to the morning drive. It's a 10-minute add to your drive over on Highway 71 westbound. Stop and go from Wolf over to 130. There's also an accident being worked on off the highway at the corner of Shoreline Drive and Burnett Road. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Stay connected to Texas athletics and the 40 acres with the LHN app. Watch original content, behind-the-scenes access, interviews, press conferences, highlights, classic Longhorn moments, and select live events. It's your home for Texas athletics content all year long. And with new stories and features dropping all the time, there's always something new to discover. Best of all, the LHN app is free to download and watch. Download the LHN app today and take Texas athletics with you wherever you go. Hook 'em.
Before they can cheer your name, you've got to make one. At Spurs Sports Academy, we're helping young athletes do just that with year-round basketball camps and tournaments for kids of all ages. It's all part of our mission of inspiring lifelong memories and building character through competition. To find your way to play, text HOOPS to 210-444-5021 or head over to spurs.com/sportsacademy.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for like so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
iHeart is America's #1 podcast network. Open the free iHeart app and explore podcasts like this.
When 60 Minutes premiered in September 1968, there was nothing like it.
We realize, of course, that new approaches are not always instantly accepted.
I'm Seth Doan of CBS News, and I'm excited to introduce a new podcast from 60 Minutes called A Second Look. The team at 60 Minutes has spent the last year digging through thousands of tapes, transcripts, and reels of film. And you're about to hear some of the sound that was never broadcast, like 21-year-old Taylor Swift imagining her future success.
Sometimes I get really overwhelmed when I think about, like, 10 years from now, I'll be 30. What's the sound then? What are the choices I've made at that point? Oh my God, what does my life look like?
Then there are the people you may not recognize by name, but who witnessed some of the most important events in modern history. Along the way, I'll speak with some of the legendary correspondents who reported the stories, as well as those whose lives were altered after sitting down with 60. Together, we'll hear how much our world has changed.
You're working in borrowed time. You're not just saying that to scare us.
And how it hasn't.
You were either for the books or against the books. And it was almost like a civil war.
You can really draw a bright red line from 74 to 2024.
It's time for A Second Look.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeart Radio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good
morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, Rose City, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Silsbee, Texas.
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Taco Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone and always free on the iHeart Radio app. Texas football keeps getting love, and the SEC does as well. Anthony Edwards made his return against the Spurs. New York got busy last night. Joe Cook of Inside Texas joins us at 7:34. When keeping it real goes wrong, just ask Jaylen Brown. Cowboys hype, is it real? And Texas baseball has a huge test tonight. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we got Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to leave us a voicemail, voice your opinion, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved and always free iHeartRadio app. If it's good enough, you might hear it on air.
If it's good enough.
If not, we'll let you know that don't send us that no more. But, you know, it is what it is. So
Wow, that was a little extreme.
Well, if it's not good, then don't do it, okay?
Throw it away.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I want to get into this conversation because we talk a lot of Texas football, and rightfully so, and that's what we're going to do.
That's right.
But, you know, when you start to look at how this team is going to succeed, we talked a little bit about the depth and some of the players that came in through the transfer portal. We'll actually talk about another one of those players in just a moment. But you start to look around, and obviously everything starts with the quarterback, Arch Manning. Now, we can look at this year. We can look at projections. We looked at it last year. A lot of people were so excited about Arch, and I kept saying, just let the kid get his feet wet. The hype is real. It is going to be there, but you can't rush that.
Right.
And I felt like people were trying to rush him a little bit and thought that he was ready for the big time, and eventually he was. But there is going to be a time where we look at it and we say that Arch grew up right before our very eyes. There were times that people wanted to hate on him, and they still didn't. They just looked at the numbers. They didn't watch the game and watch him grow up. Well, there are some guys that looked at Arch and saw that he grew up, and around the exact same time that we talked about him growing up.
So Florida, I would include Kentucky. Games that you look at those stat lines, you look at close games. I believe the Kentucky game went to overtime. He got banged up in it as well. You watch it back on film, and that's why film doesn't lie. The All-22, just being able to see those angles and everything, and you see the process is so much better than I was even giving him credit for. You understand why he's tucking the ball. You understand why he's taking a sack. You start you don't want to always, blame pie. It's different pieces based on every play. Sometimes it is the quarterback's fault. Sometimes it was the play caller having a terrible play call. Sometimes the O-line's coach having a terrible pass protection scheme. Sometimes the receivers can't get open. Sometimes they drop the ball. And sometimes that's really hard to see until you can see all 22, the all 22 film. And when I rewatched him in the second half of the year, I was like, oh my God, like you could see him progressing. You see things calming down. You could see that he was maybe starting to put some more touch on the throws where maybe he was fireballing those in early in the season. I just kind of amped up and revved up. But right away, you can see a lot of polished pocket movement.
And you understand that as the games went on, the more he got to see, the more he was active, the speed of the game slowed down for him, and his vision became what it needed to be.
I think one of the things that people are underestimating is the fact that his decision making and how fast he make his decisions. In the OU game, you remember he got pass rush right up the middle, AA gaps. He rolled out and he threw a pass to the sideline. Listen, man,
we said it then. That's an NFL quarterback throw. Nobody else would have been able to make that. It was arm strength and anticipation. So, like, that was one of the moments that I thought was overly impressive for a college quarterback.
Yeah, and then you look at how he's changed the way he participates with his team. He said it. He said, "Man, I'm done with this. We need to start winning, and we're gonna find a way to get it done." I said it that day, and I'll say it again. Florida game, he grew up. He showed some toughness. The Kentucky game, which he mentioned, we saw him battle through that game.
Mm-hmm.
He found a way to get it done throughout the season, and it may not have been what everybody thought it was going to be. But at the end of the day, what does it call? Winning.
Yeah,
you got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to win, and that's exactly what he did. Well, this year he also has found somebody that is brought in to kind of help him win, and that is the wide receiver from Auburn. When you think about Cam Coleman and the way people view him, Nate Tice, who was the person who was talking about this Arch Manning stuff, he also was talking about what Cam Coleman brings to the table.
Watching Cam Coleman, I doing my study, watched 3 games, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy's a freak. This guy is fast. He's catching everything. He's actually a willing blocker. Like, he's doing dirty work stuff. The route detail, like, yeah, it looks sometimes a little loosey, but he's getting to his depth. Like, the detail was there, and he's catching everything. And so I'm watching. I'm like, this guy's AJ Green. And then I look online. It's like, oh yeah, he's been compared to AJ Green since he was a senior in high school. Way to go, Nate. Way to tread new ground here with this comparison. But the ball skills are excellent. He's got legit speed, deep speed. It's not like he's just a big stiff, like maybe like a Mike Williams, who was more of a ball winner but didn't have that long speed at Clemson. But man, this is a guy that I'm very excited to see him with Arch. See him also with other help with their other auxiliary receivers that they have there. They have some other talented players. But he can stretch the field. Remember what I said about Arch is super aggressive. There's going to be plenty of post routes and go balls to Cam Coleman. You can also see for a taller guy that's 6'4", you watch him on double moves, and double moves are a great way to see kind of like how fluid of an athlete a guy is. And he's great on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mosley and Wingo are willing blockers too.
Yep.
And that's the thing that I keep saying about this running game. Like, you have wide receivers they're willing blockers. We underestimate sometimes the power of getting the guy downfield and shielding him off from your defender. You know where the hole is. You know where your guy is going. And you keep another defensive back from getting there, and they're one-on-one in the open field. Maybe you get some go balls. I mean, some big runs. So, like, I don't want everybody to just focus on the fact that these guys are going to catch the ball, but they're also going to be working for the offense.
Yeah, that's the difference between 20 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So as we finish the post spring and getting into the preseason hype, Josh Pate did his post-spring report, and he has Texas as the number 2 team. There's 9 SEC teams that are in his top 25. Texas at number 2. Number 7 is Georgia. Number 8 is Ole Miss. Number 9 is OU. Number 10 is Texas A&M. Number 12 is LSU. Number 13 is Bama. 21 is Florida. And 23 is Missouri. Now, when you look at it, he's just talking about what he saw, the talent-wise, and what the expectations are. We've talked about Texas being a number 1 team. We get that. But when you start to look at what Georgia, Ole Miss, and particularly LSU, these are teams that are trying to Ole Miss has a new coach. He ended up coaching them during the playoffs. He was part of that staff, so he understands his team. They got Trinidad Chambliss back, so that's huge. But LSU is a whole new regime. LSU is Lane Kiffin, Sam Leavitt, quarterback who's coming in, and they are trying to figure out what's next for this football team. They've got a bunch of talent that came in, but it is a new regime, and you obviously know how talented of a coach Lane Kiffin is, but how quick can they get that chemistry at LSU. It is very, very important for those guys.
You know what? I think that Lane Kiffin kind of knew what he wanted and what he had when he went there and what he can add to it. He was like, listen, I'm going to LSU. I need you to come. I mean, they recruited some guys.
Yeah.
They got some guys. And then they went out in the portal and they brought in some guys. So I think that that's a little bit low for what I'm seeing from what LSU looks like on paper.
Well, they tried to get some guys to come over from Ole Miss. Those guys decided to stay. Those playmakers that he really wanted, they decided to stay. So he, with the quarterback position, that's the main thing that every team is looking at. You got to have that. And they went out and got a guy that's got a lot of experience, but let's see how he reacts to the SEC and the expectations of being in there and playing for Lane Kiffin. Because, you got to be tough to be able to play that quarterback position for Lane. We are just getting started on this Taco Tuesday, on a Cinco de Mayo Tuesday, right here on the Morning Kickoff. Coming up next, the Knicks opened up a can and the T-Wolves upset the Apple Cart in San Antonio. We'll talk about it and we'll hear about it all right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Houston Street said the moment he knew that he needed to stick to baseball, Street was a defensive back and a good one, a good safety for Westlake. And they're playing Midland Lee in the state championship game. Cedric Benson is playing for Midland Lee. Tramples Houston Street. Just ran right over it. Trampled and went on in. Houston said, I had no better indication of that. I needed to stick to baseball after that.
Only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Things are still slow this morning over in Manor on 290 westbound after an earlier crash at FM 973 is gone, but you're still pretty backed up from FM 1100, about a 20-minute out of your drive this morning. 15 minutes tacked onto the commute on I-35 northbound from 45 over to William Cannon, but no delays over on 183 southbound from 620 to 360. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by AirTasker.
AirTasker knows your to-do list isn't taking the weekend off.
I need lights hung, dry cleaning picked up, and the grill fixed.
Post your task on airtasker.com or download the app. Local taskers will take it from there. AirTasker. Get anything done.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Leander, this is your new spot. Willie's Grill and Ice House is now open. We're talking a full scratch kitchen, stacked burgers, hand battered chicken tenders, and crawfish delivered fresh from Louisiana every single day. Ice cold drinks covered. Full bar ready. Wall to wall TVs for every game, of course. And because it's Texas, a completely climate controlled covered patio. So whether you're grabbing drinks, catching the game, or posting up with your crew, this is your spot. Willie's Grill and Ice House, now open in Leander. Additional locations in Georgetown, Pflugerville, and Kyle.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can. And they've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. But hurry, deadlines to file end next week. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
Voters are listening to the radio, tons of them. If you're running for office, radio is where people are actually tuned in, not swiping past ads. Connect with communities everywhere and get on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
Tired of juggling multiple pay apps? Make splitting lunch or sending a gift simple with Instant Pay from Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. Instant Pay is your all-in-one way to send money. No more guessing if they use Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle. Just send a text right from the ATFCU mobile app, and they can choose where to deposit the funds. It's fast, easy, and free for both you and the recipient, even if they're not an ATFCU member. All you need is an ATFCU checking account and debit card. Visit atfcu.org or stop by one of our 24 area locations. Austin Telco Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
The Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream is celebrating America's 250th One Dream at a Time. Next, Cindy Citrone, minority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
When I was diagnosed, my breast surgeon looked at me and said to me, "This is going to be a horrendous year, but you are going to survive." That's a symbol of where we've come. My mother passed from breast cancer. I don't want my daughters to have breast cancer. And the American dream is having that hope.
Discover more at mcad.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back to Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Shot clock running down. Comes down to perhaps this. Off the heel. Rebound. And Wendy. He said go. No timeout coming. Champagne stepped up for three. Decided to win. Cannot get it to go. And Minnesota comes in on the road and steals game one.
The Minnesota Timberwolves decided it was time for them to get the dub, and that's exactly what they did. Anthony Edwards comes off the bench for 18 points and secured the victory 104-102. Last night, the San Antonio did not shoot the ball well from three at all.
No,
As a
didn't.
matter of fact, they were 10 of 36 for 28%. There was a lot of good defense being played by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mike Conley had a great game, very effective. Jaden Daniels locking up Stephon Castle and being able to play, De'Aaron Fox, and playing really good, sound defense against him. Last night just wasn't the Spurs' night, and the funny thing was they lost by 2 and had a good look for a possible game-winning shot. So if you're a Spurs fan, you should not be discouraged by what you saw. And if you're a Timberwolves fan, you should probably say, this thing is far from over.
Yeah, I think that the number one thing, Hardge, is like you said, they had a horrible night of shooting. But the biggest note that I wanted to throw out there was the fact that how many times Wemby hit the floor. They were hockey checking him. They were roughing him up and down the court. And, you know, my solution is always an aggressive, violent one, but you have to send messages. And this is a young team, only won one playoff series with these guys. And I'm not diminishing the Trailblazers, but the Trailblazers are not the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they're going to have to get after these guys. And when I say get after them, I mean physically body some of these guys up. If Wemby touches the ground, then one of their guys needs to touch the ground. And then they'll stop that. But that's what I saw a lot of. And Wemby could not get into a rhythm because he kept finding himself getting up off the ground. And when you're thinking about how not to get knocked down, it's hard to get your go around screens. It's hard to, get in position to pass the ball like he normally does, especially from 17 feet on that elbow. The plays that they like to run, he couldn't get a comfortable spot. So I think you'll see in the next game Wemby being a little bit more aggressive, kind of like he did against Portland. And you'll see the others hockey checking people when Wemby goes to the ground.
Well, they definitely need to get some physicality in there. But one thing's for sure, Wemby did what he needed to do on the defensive side.
An NBA playoff history, 11 opening round. Shot clock down to 5. Shannon blocked. Gobert up the screen and roll to the left. Stephon Castle's got 9 in the game. The lead for Edwards so far. Randall, there's that man again. And again. Oh, he blocked that one. Mark here in the second quarter. Mark had it at the 11. 0 for 5. Reed, guess who from the weak side? Daniels. Got him up in the air. Here comes Wemby. Was pro-lightning at a young age. 5-time NBA champ Ron Harper, the miss. Block. Defense collects, and they will block your shot. In a hurry, and it just happened. In a heavyweight fight, they are going at it. He's got 15 in the game. Edwards. TJ, you knew that was coming.
Wembanyama with a NBA record 12 blocks in the game. He also had 15 rebounds and 11 points for a triple-double. But as you know, they came up short in that game. But Anthony Edwards was ready to get back into it. He was back playing. We didn't know if he was going to play. The report said he was going to try to. Well, he did. He came off the bench, and he said that he really likes being on the road first.
I mean, everybody in the arena is against us. Yeah, I think that's the best thing that's the best thing about it. Like, you start on the road, everybody got on pink, blue, and whatever other color shirts there is, chanting "Go Spurs, go," and doing all that. And I'm with Minnesota. Like, I got Minnesota back at all times, so I'm out there with my brothers, and we're going to war.
Love me some Anthony Edwards. I don't like him right now because he's playing against the Spurs,
Yeah.
but I love me some Anthony Edwards.
You seen the Wolfman?
Yeah.
To the 25th power.
He tough, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of as effective as Wemby was with blocking shots and affecting people's shots, Rudy Gobert was the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And Rudy was he carried on some of his defensive prowess from being against Joker to playing against Wemby and playing against the other guys that came in the low area. Wemby is going to have to go back to the low area. Yeah.
Yep.
He's going to have to go back in there and this time make it different. Don't shoot so many threes. All that work he did with Olajuwon during all season, I want to see it. I want to see it.
So you believe that Wemby's going to change his game and try to go down there?
Well, he's not
bang?
going to change his game. I didn't say change his game. I said that he needs to be more effective in the low area, which means that inside out is better than outside in.
Well, you just talked about how good Gobert is on the block. And if he's close,
75.
You still got to bring him out, though. Bring him out so other people can get to the rim.
You may need to make a statement.
That's basically what I'm saying. They got to go inside and prove that you can get that done and get more consistent, easier shots.
I think the biggest problem going to be for Wemby is the thing that you mentioned earlier. He can't go in there if he's not physically strong enough to go at a Rudy Gobert and get banged around. You said it. He was on the ground multiple times. And if he's going to try to go in there and try to be physical with Rudy, it is not going to work. And then the person that you probably would want out of the way is Gobert. So that's probably what their plan is. Because you saw as soon as Wemby went out of the game, what did the Timberwolves do? They started attacking the rim. That's what, when Gobert checks out, That's what the Spurs need to do. They were settling for jumpers. They weren't trying to go to the rim. And when they did, they was effective. And that's the difference.
Yeah.
The mentality, yes, to your point, absolutely. But he ain't going to be able to do that if Gobert is in the game, because Gobert is going to push him out because he's not strong
I
enough.
would like to see him try before you just say, oh, I'm not going to do something.
I hear that. I understand that. But what I'm saying is when this has happened and the way that he has played, he's better in transition. You got to beat Gobert back.
That's true.
You got to beat him back, because no matter what, you said it a minute ago, the Spurs couldn't go in there. He was just as effective by making people pull up and not get to the rim. Is the same thing that's going to happen this time. The fact is, when he checks out, go to the rim. But they got great perimeter defense. So the Spurs guards couldn't get downhill the way that they normally do, because Jaden Daniels was locking people up.
Oh, yeah, he was doing good.
It was a totally different atmosphere than what they were. But the truth of the story is they lost by 2. They had a great
They
look.
could have won
coulda
that game.
Yeah.
Even with all of the
Yes.
The bad shooting and the lack of physicality. They were one shot at the end of that game away from winning it. So,
absolutely. And it was a great look.
Yeah.
And Mitch Thompson said, I will let him do that. I mean, Mitch Johnson said, I'll take that shot 9 times out of 10. I want him to shoot it again.
Yeah.
Because he'll probably make that shot. Champagnie had 17 points, and Dylan Harper off the bench had 18 to lead the Spurs with Stephon Castle. The effectiveness of the attacking the rim, to me, is going to be the biggest difference. Because if your guards are quick enough to get to the rim, get to the rim. The problem
put
is
Rudy in foul trouble.
Everybody wants to shoot 3-pointers. Get to the rim.
Tell him, Coach.
Coming up next, we've got our guy Joe Cook of Inside Texas talking all things Longhorns. And there's a new ABS that might be used in the SEC tournament. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
From the Lorenz and Lorenz Traffic Center.
There's a couple crashes being worked on this morning off the highway. The newest one's on FM 1327 at Carl Road. Also ongoing cleanup for an accident on Shoreline Drive at Burnett Road. Stop and go on the main lanes of I-35 northbound from 45 to William Cannon. And a 20-minute slowdown on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lorenz and Lorenz Personal Injury Attorneys.
I'm attorney Ted Lorenz. If you've been hurt in a car or truck wreck, Lorenz and Lorenz is here for you. We offer a free consultation and don't get paid until we win your case. Lorenz and Lorenz, we're on top of it. Austin, Texas.
Have you figured out your favorite day at the Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock yet? The hottest new sports bar in Texas is great every day, thanks to the Rowdy Cowgirl. An amazing menu of food, drinks, 70 big screen TVs. But Tuesday is Bikinis and Booze Day with all the Texas spirits and beers on special. If you aren't checking out the Rowdy Cowboy every day of the week, well, you're missing out. So saddle up and hit the trail for Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock on the east side of I-35, just north of the 45 Loop.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. Today's home electronics can be a bit daunting. My company has spent the last 38 years making sure they are not. We carry all major brands of television and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores, and you don't have to leave your house. We come to you. I believe in having fun and dreaming big. If you have a dream for your home entertainment, let me know. I can make that dream come true. Anything from theaters to multi-room audio systems, lighting control, computer networks, hell, even golf simulators. We cultivate clients for a lifetime by treating everyone like their family. And we provide everything at incredibly competitive prices and install it seamlessly into your home. So relax, hug your kids, make love to your wife, and smile. Then give us a call at 512-255-8678. It's 512-255-8678. or online at avconsultations.com.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The Timberwolves held off the Spurs 104-102 to steal Game 1 of the West Semis in San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama set an NBA postseason record with 12 blocks in the loss. Dodgers crushed the Astros 8-3 in their series opener in Houston. Texans owner Cal McNair told reporters that the team is fully committed to quarterback C.J. Stroud when asked about a contract extension. I'm Ronza Moss.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Buyers Barricades.
For traffic control rentals, sales, and 24-hour service, trust Buyers Barricades. From roadway safety to special event traffic planning, they've got Texas covered. Visit buyersbarricades.com and keep Texas roads safe. That's buyersbarricades.com. Visit the site today.
Class of 2026, it's your year. Celebrate the music that fueled late night crams, hallway hangs, and every unforgettable moment with iHeartRadio's Ultimate Class of 2026 playlist. The soundtrack to your senior year and beyond. But we didn't stop there. Whether you graduated in 95, 05, or just last year, we've got a playlist for your class too. Search Class of and the year you graduated on the free iHeartRadio app and relive your glory days, one song at a time.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app could win you something amazing.
The iHeart Awards in LA.
Plus, it's the fastest way to get your voice on your favorite station.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
I love you guys. Have a good day.
Try the talkback mic now. Just open the free iHeartRadio app.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. It's a Taco Tuesday on a Cinco de Mayo, but it's also Tuesday, so that means we get a chance to talk to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. Joe, let's get right into it. Your guy, Josh Pate, had a post-spring poll, and it has Texas as the number 2 team. You had another guy, Nate Tice, who's part of the organization, talking very highly of one Arch Manning and, of course, Cam Coleman. So around the 40 acres, the hype seems to be real, not just for the local people, but for the national people. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is a time of year where there are some people who are still in NFL draft mode. They're like, oh, let me find the way too early guys for the 2027 draft. And, you know, at a certain point when these guys discover that all these guys are wearing the same color and they're all wearing burnt orange, they're like, oh, maybe that team's supposed to be pretty good. You know, with guys like Josh Pate, J.D. Piquel, and I think even Joel Klatt jumped in on there. You know, they're taking a look at, you know, just who the best teams are. And it seems like at this point, the consensus kind of group is Texas, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Georgia, Indiana, Miami, and I think there's one more in Oregon. And you can probably throw some other teams in there with varying levels of expectations, but those are the teams now that are really gunning to win a national championship this year. And, you know, when going back to the draft part of it, when Texas has as many draft eligible prospects as or draft likelihoods and even first round likelihoods as the teams like Oregon and as the teams like Georgia, and it's weird to say still, but as Indiana, That puts them in a position where, even coming off of last year, they're still one of the more talented teams, and expectations are still through the roof.
Well, Joe, and another thing that I continue to look at is, the predictions, so to speak, right? So you start to look at Texas's schedule and how it starts off and where this team was last year as opposed to coming into this season. And the schedule, although it's probably one of the toughest out there, player-wise, health being not a concern, it looks like Texas is going to have a tough road, but they should be favored in every single game, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, they'll be favored, and a big part of that is playing, 8 games in the state of Texas, 7 at home, 1 in Dallas, obviously. You do have some tough road trips. At Neyland is going to be tough in that first SEC game. Tiger Stadium speaks for itself. Kyle Field speaks for itself. And I was, looking through the schedule last night. Neyland could end up being – that Tennessee game could end up being a big hinge point for the season because let's say Texas slips up against Ohio State. Well, then you got to go to a 100,000 seat stadium and avoid falling to 500 and losing any margin for error against the rest of that schedule without even having made it to October yet. So that like you said, the schedule does set up well, but you still have challenging teams coming in, and that's just part of life in the SEC and life with a 9-game conference schedule too. They're playing extra games, so somebody's got to lose those games. Texas is just going to work to make sure it's the other teams who are falling behind at that point.
Joe, we're spending a lot of time talking about Arch and Coleman and this offense and the new running backs and all the other complementary toys that this offense brings, along with improved offensive line. But we're not talking that much about Colin Simmons and company and adding a Bo Masco, who had the highest man-to-man coverage ratio in the Big Ten last year. What about the defense? Like, what are they saying about this defense and Coach Blood's influence on it?
It was interesting. I was working with some friends who cover Ole Miss and On 3, and I think I got about 7 questions into stuff they had asked me before I started mentioning Colin Simmons. And I'm like, wait a second, like this guy's going to be a top 10 pick in the draft, top 5 pick in the draft as well, and we're just now getting to talk about him. Colin Simmons is going to be the first point of focus for every opposing offensive coordinator this year. They're going to have to figure out how to block that guy, not only on passing downs, but on standard downs. And that's going to be, just a big part of Texas weekly prep is how do they deploy Colin Simmons correctly and in a way that gets him going. I think Bo Masco is going to be, he could end up being a player that we look up next year, and he has like an Andrew Makuba type rise. And Andrew Makuba was a fringe 5-star in the 2020 class, and he had 3 really great years at Clemson. But I'm not exactly sure the NFL looked at him and thought, like, you know what, he's got a position quite yet. He had bounced between nickelback and safety, and then he thrives at safety at Texas. I don't think Masco has that position flexibility. I think he's going to be a corner. But I feel like that's someone we could look up and, this time next year be wondering, like, how did we not really think of him as a top 50 player entering the 2026 season? I think that they made that addition for a reason, and that's already with a pretty athletic cornerback group. They wanted some experience. They had some connections with Mark Orfe, having coached there, and made it happen. And I think he's going to find his way into the starting lineup this year.
Jelani McDonald is also another one that is such an unbelievable asset physically, and he has experience in this defense already playing in secondary. Like, you think that Texas will be able to deploy him more in that run scheme, blitzing from the secondary and in this new system?
Yeah, I think you're going to see Jelani play closer to the line of scrimmage a good amount. I think you'll also see him, be playing that deep post. This system is more single high safety than 2 high safety. Yeah. So, he's going to be splitting some opportunities. And I think even then, way Will Muschamp runs it, it's left safety and right safety instead of boundary and free. So I think you're going to see him be able to play in the box a little bit more, but he's still listed, I think, at about 200 pounds. They still want him being able to backpedal and break on some footballs deep. And Texas and, whether it be some of the defensive coaches or Sarkisian, has really talked up his playmaking ability throughout the spring. So he's going to be in spots. He's going to have some opportunities to find, some balls in the air, and he's also going to have to get his nose dirty in the run game every now and then too.
Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him on social media at Joseph Cook 89. Joe, I wanted to ask you about Texas basketball. I know we were going to talk baseball, but I decided not to. I want to talk Texas basketball. Coach Sean Miller had a conversation yesterday talking about the rosters in college basketball. Are they starting to compete a little bit with what football is trying to do when you look at the configurations of these rosters?
I think we're reaching that point in football where it's about, you're probably approaching, and I'm not saying this for Texas, I'm just saying in general, like the championship contenders are probably in the 40 range. And then Sean Miller was asked yesterday, I think on Field of 68, like how many teams does he believe have a $20 million roster? And he estimated 20 to 25. I don't think Texas is included in that. I think, I was looking back on some reporting during the Final Four from On3, and all the Final Four teams were said to be in about the 8 to 10 million range. And Michigan was the only one that was for sure above 10 million from that reporting. And then you think about Kentucky last year reportedly had like a $20 million roster and didn't even get to, I don't think they made it to the second weekend. I don't think Texas broke 10. I'm almost certain that Texas did not break 10 million last year. I think Sean Miller, between knowing what he was looking for this cycle, having his feet under him a little bit more, and a Sweet 16 run that was a bucket away from the Elite Eight, I think he drummed up a lot more support. I think he understands that to compete in the SEC, you may not need to dip Kentucky and Arkansas money into it like the Razorbacks and Wildcats have. But you have to be in the same neighborhood as teams, and I listed them out on Inside Texas yesterday. You have to be in the same neighborhood as teams like Florida, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee. At this point, you could probably say LSU is going to be in there with Will Wade. You have to be in that neighborhood, or else you're just going to be in the middle of the conference every year on the bubble with how competitive the league is. And then, that's tough in the SEC when football just matters. It is the biggest deal to all these schools, even if they aren't, perennial bowl teams. They would rather go to a bowl with a 9-win football season than probably make it to like a Sweet 16 or Elite Eight. They'll love it in the moment, but when you ask them in mid-July what they're most looking forward to, they're going to say maybe the possibility of a 9-win season. That's just kind of how the SEC goes everywhere but in Lexington. So I think the fact that I was a little bit surprised that he put a number on that. He kind of could have dodged the question, but he went ahead and answered it. And I wonder how many, there are 360 teams in college basketball. So that means about 330 or so don't have that roster. And they're probably wondering, wait, how do I get that? How do I maybe try to get my program into that club? So interesting answer. I'm curious, with Texas, and this is the last thing I'll say real fast, like they only, I believe, dedicate 15% of the house revenue sharing. I think that's like just around $3 million. And even if you're like a Big East team, yeah, the rules are not rules, but the ideas are a little bit different for you. If you're an SEC team, okay, you get 15% of the house share. Well, are you going to bump that up to 20? Are you going to eat into football? Well, football is what pays the bills. So it's a big balancing act, I think, for these teams that say they want to be good at basketball, but then when the hard decisions come around when it comes to money, football is going to win 9 times out of 10, and you're relying on donor. It's just a weird balancing act, and it's tough for college coaches. But I mean, at the same time, you look around, and there are probably as many like multi-million-dollar guys in college basketball, maybe in college football, just because of small roster sizes compared to just a large 105-man limit.
Is Texas done? Are they going to get another big?
I think they have literally room for one more. at this point, they got John Clark and Luis Obiora coming back. I know both those guys redshirted. I don't know if the thing with finding another big is whose minutes are they going to eat into? At this point, you've got a lot of guys already there. Modest is there, and Sean Miller talked him up a lot yesterday. You have those two guys on the roster. David Punch could probably be your small ball 5 in a pinch. So that's already eating in some minutes. These has to be like the right intersection of, funds, opportunity, and minutes. And I think Texas is running low on, a regular amount of minutes that a big man could find. I think they want Luis Obiora and John Clark to be factors next year. It's tough to see red shirts do that just because it's not something we're accustomed to in college basketball. I think that seems to be the plan right now, considering I think any irons they have in a fire maybe for an international guy, and I don't think he's a big.
Appreciate you, Joe. As always, man, thanks for taking the time, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely, guys.
There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. When we come back, Texas baseball has a big game tonight, but we'll hear from Coach Schlossnagle and his post game from Sunday right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app.
Hey there, Texas fans. This is the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way, inviting you to join us for Longhorn football. We'll bring you all of the action all season long, including in-depth analysis and exclusive access to players and coaches before the opening kick and after the final whistle. And every week, we'll talk with Texas Longhorns head coach Steve Sarkisian on Longhorn Weekly. This is your exclusive source for Texas Longhorn football.
On 1300 The Zone.
Your summer travel budget is about to get $1,000 heavier.
No way.
You better start planning and listen weekdays for many chances a day to win bonus bucks.
Hey guys, I'm Lourdes. I'm Hannah. And we're Rowdy Cowgirls from Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock, Texas. Come see us. We're excited to meet you and get rowdy.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a couple crashes being worked on this morning off the highway. The newest one's on FM 1327 at Carl Road. Also ongoing cleanup for an accident on Shoreline Drive at Burnett Road. Stop and go on the main lanes of I-35 northbound from 45 to William Cannon. And a 20-minute slowdown on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
I'm here with Dan Christensen of DJC Law, Austin's largest veteran-owned personal injury law firm.
Hey, Craig, you're the best, but I got to tell you, you talk a lot.
Well, it's kind of my job.
That's right. And when you do one thing for as long as you have, you get pretty good at it.
Now I feel like you're calling me old.
Just experienced.
Yeah, just like the team at DJC Law. They have over 200 years combined experience and 500 trials.
Don't forget, a 99% win rate.
That's a winning team. If you've been injured, call DJC Law 512-888-9999 and get your justice. TeamJustice.com.
Principal office, Austin, Texas.
Hennion and Walsh was made for people like you. People who understand the value of experienced, highly skilled professionals. That's why you'll have access to a team of specialists to help you invest for the life you want. Why? You've earned it. We're Hennion and Walsh, and a team built around you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Hennion & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Hennion & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's time to spring into deals at Lowe's.
Freshen up your yard with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch. 5 bags for $10. Then get what you need to keep clothes, food, and dishes fresh with up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on select laundry pairs. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
At Target, finding something for every kind of mom and every side of mom just got easier. Does she love fashion? Take 20% off select women's clothing and accessories and find a dress she'll love to wear. Is she into the outdoors? Freshen up her favorite spot with up to 40% off planters, pillows, and poofs. Or keep it classic. Fresh tulips for just $12 and a dossier fragrance trio for $32. Whatever mom is into, we've got it. Celebrate mom her way, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code FUTURE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUTURE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's FUTURE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
From the Audio Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app. Texas football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Inside Texas, you can make sure you follow Matt Joseph Cook 89. This is going to be a short segment, so I'm going to give you an opportunity right now. Get over to the iHeartRadio app. Get over to AM 1300 The Zone. If you're already listening to it on the app, tap that microphone. I'm going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Texas baseball tonight versus UTSA. This is a big-time matchup. You know that UTSA travels well. They have a lot that's on their plate. They have a lot of energy. Texas has lost them
won
4 out of the last 5 games against the University of Texas. As a matter of fact, they knocked Texas out of the regional last year here at home. So make sure you come out and support the Texas Longhorns, because here's the deal. We don't want all those UTSA people coming out there.
Payback.
You know, you got to make sure that the energy is right for this matchup tonight. I do want to mention this because we're getting close to the SEC tournament. The SEC tournament is going to use the ABS challenge system in the conference tournament. You know, we had a conversation about this yesterday, talking about the ABS and how Jazz Chisholm cannot use it ever again.
No bueno.
He is banned from it by Coach Boone. The SEC tournament starts May the 19th through the 24th at the Hoover Met Complex in Hoover, Alabama. This is going to align with the Major League Baseball rules. The coaches will have three opportunities to use the ball strike challenge. I'm just curious to if the players are going to be able to use it. Is it something that the coaches are going to be in control of? But you will get a chance to use it in the tournament. So I think it's going to be an exciting, fun opportunity for a lot of people and a lot of coaches to look at it. But no, don't. You can't be like Jazz Chisholm. Let's just say that. You cannot be like Jazz Chisholm and think that you're going to be able to go out there and use that at any time. So for me, I'm excited about it because I think it'll be good, because we had the conversation yesterday about how there was a questionable pitch at one point during the game that if if you would have been able to challenge it, it might have changed the outcome of the inning, and the game ended up being Texas's anyway. But still, it was one of those situations that it could have been challenged.
It's crazy how well these players know the strike zone. It is like it's right on the edge, and I see a lot of hitters get it right.
Yeah, it's a challenging time, and I look forward to it. Also, yesterday was the draft for the softball team, and the Texas Volts drafted Leanne Good from the University of Texas, so she'll be playing for the Texas Volts, which is Kat Osterman's team, and they also got the pitcher from Texas Tech, Miss Canada, will be coming to play at Round Rock Express Field with the Texas Volts. Two great picks by Kat Osterman, who I'm trying to get on the show this week. Coming up next, did Jaylen Brown put his foot in his mouth? I believe so. And don't forget, make sure you leave us a message so you can get a pair of tickets to go to the game tonight. University of Texas hosting UTSA tonight at 6:30. Use that microphone and leave us a message and say you want them tickets right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. Nothing says Texas sports like a packed tailgate, burnt orange everywhere, and an ice-cold Bud Light in your hand. As the official domestic beer of Texas athletics, Bud Light is more than just for Longhorn game days. Its light is crisp and perfect for every first play. That's right. Grab a pack, bring it to the party, and toast every play with Bud Light. Because in Texas, the weekend starts with a Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Chris Eppel, head of marketing for the Americas, Harman JBL, weighs in on the importance of audio.
It's been amazing over the last couple of years to see what's happened with audio. We've doubled our investment in the last 2 years in the audio space. We find to be highly critical to our business.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Millions of people move every year for all kinds of reasons. When that time comes, it helps to go with a company you can trust. Penske Truck Rental. Their trucks are clean, newer, well-maintained, and you get free unlimited miles on one-way rentals. And there's no fee if you want to change your reservation. They've got over 2,000 locations and live support around the clock. Penske helps you gain ground like no other company can. Go to PenskeTruckRental.com or download the Penske Truck Rental app. LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. They can't stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m., though. They can help you sell, they can help you market, and they can help you hire in one place. They cannot help you be in 3 places at one time, though. And while they can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business at LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/Dan Patrick Show.
Here's a quick tip from iHeartRadio Earth to help you make eco-smart choices at home. Spring allergies acting up? Outdoor pollen isn't the only culprit. Indoor air can trap allergens like dust, pet dander, and pollen brought in from outside. Help reduce what's circulating by changing air filters regularly, keeping windows closed on high pollen days, and using a vacuum with a HEPA filter for better air quality. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. For tips or to take action, visit iHeartRadio.com/earth.
Skip this.
Tap that red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app while listening to your favorite station.
You guys rock.
Instant feedback. And the best feature, if you mess up,
hopefully I'm sending these messages correctly.
Do it again. Leave a talkback now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding a unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. In hour number 1, we talked about Texas post-spring report. The reports are that Texas is going to be really good on paper, and now they got to make sure that they get it done on the field. We also talked about the Spurs falling to the Timberwolves 104-102. Wemby had a triple-double, set the record for blocks, but Anthony Edwards made it happen coming off the bench with 18 points. The Knicks opened up a can on the 76ers, defeating them 137-98. And it was never, ever even close. Also talked to Joe Cook about the offseason for Texas football. I told you a little while ago, make sure you get over there. Texas baseball plays tonight against UTSA. We're giving you a chance to get some tickets. The first pitch is at 6:30. You can hear all the action right here on 103.1 FM, and the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way. He'll be talking about it this afternoon as well. But I will be on the call on SEC Network Plus. So if you're not listening to Craig and you don't sync it up with the TV, you can always hear your boy on there as well. Right now, I want to get into this conversation because Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics got beat by the 76ers. They got eliminated from the playoffs. We talked about it yesterday about how Jason Tatum did not play and all things fell on Jaylen Brown. But we also talked about the reemergence of Joel Embiid. And if Embiid played well, then this was going to be good for the 76ers. Well, it didn't turn out good yesterday, but it was enough to get the Boston Celtics eliminated. But instead of taking his L and moving on, Jaylen Brown decided he wanted to talk some trash about Embiid and flopping, and it didn't go over well.
I mean, this is my personal opinion on basketball. Some of y'all might disagree. You know what I mean? But argue with your grandma. Flopping has ruined our game. Joel Embiid is a great player, one of the best bigs in basketball history. Flops. He know it. This ain't breaking news. This ain't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I can clip it up. Like I said, y'all can post it on these paid accounts that y'all, these bot, whatever. That's just my opinion.
Now, you can have an opinion. That's good. But during that interview, he went on to say that officials have told him such things. Yet, they still make the call. Now, the commissioner is probably going to call Jaylen to the principal's office.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're going to make the statement that people, referees, have stated to you that certain calls get called at certain times, we need to know who those officials are.
Yeah, that sounds like a collusion case.
Yeah, we need to see if there's some money being exchanged in these situations. And yet, Jaylen Brown, who took 27 shots, 27 shots in their loss to Philly. He got to the free throw line 6 times, probably the most that he's had in this tournament, or not tournament, but the playoffs. And yet you're going to complain about certain people. You were up for MVP. This is probably not a good look for somebody who is trying to be one of the faces of the league to make a comment like that and try to call out officials during that time. Thoughts?
I think that he should have kept that to himself. You know, because the rest of the players in the league are going to say, well, who? If the referee said it, which referee said it? And who are the players that they're giving preferential treatment? Because how do I get on that list? I want some calls. I guarantee you. Hardge, you were a pro athlete. You mean to tell me that you wouldn't want to get some tips on what the pitch is going to be? Can you imagine turning to the umpire and going, what was the call? Oh, fastball? Okay. Everybody want that. And in the league, they always say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. That's horrible philosophy. But as Houston, they bang the drums. There's a lot of things that happen in that, but you have to be able to prove it like they did in Houston. They proved it. They had evidence. What he's saying is speculation and hearsay, which is damaging to somebody's reputation.
It's damning to the league.
That too.
It's damning to the league. Those other, that's all part of it. But if the league is under investigation for this,
that's conclusion.
And it's like you can't just make a blanket statement about this.
He did.
You have to be able to say, hey man, there's guys out here that do it. Jaylen Brown does it. Every player in the NBA flops at some point.
You know, the only thing worse than a flop is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's push-off. Every time. Watch him. Move, push, shot. Move, push, shot. Same time. He's very good at it. He's perfected it. He's mastered it. But I don't feel like that he's the only one. The officials allow it. Jalen Brunson, I love him. Come on, man. You know, I big body Brunson. I'm a fan. He pushes off, Hardge. I watched him push off at least 4 times last night. And they're not calling it. So if they're not calling it, take advantage of it. If you can flop and get away with it, then that guy's going to do it again. He realizes, oh, I can get him right here. So you can't criticize and point out one individual because you lost to him. Now, if they had won that game, would he have criticized the game? I mean, I'm asking.
If they would have won the game?
If they won, you think he still would have said?
No, of course not.
There you go.
Of course not. That's
the crux of the whole thing is they lost.
That's why everybody kept saying you have to take the L, and if you got a beef, you do it to the commissioner's office. You don't do it on your live stream where you are the face of this team.
He looked like he had a couple of Cavassiers too.
He might have.
You can't get on social media or live streams and you liquored up.
Yeah.
While you're angry. That's not wise. Where are his friends? Where are
they
the
were
people?
In the background earlier in the video.
They needed to say, bro, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, he put himself in a bad light, and a lot of people are criticizing him for being able to do that. A lot of the players, a lot of former players, they're eating him alive. Kendrick Perkins went berserk on him, basically saying, you need to understand that you lost, and you need to take it as what it is. Don't blame it on that. Let's talk about how many shots y'all took that were three-pointers. Y'all were 49 three-pointers. You took 49 three-pointers and were 13 of 49. You shot 27%. If you'd have did more attacking to the rim as opposed to worrying about Joel Embiid and quote-unquote his flopping, maybe you played a better game. If y'all stopped Tyrese Maxey from getting to the rim when he wanted to, Tyrese Maxey had 11 rebounds in that game. If you would have stopped VJ Edgecombe, maybe that would have stopped you from being eliminated in the playoffs. This is what this is all about. You were salty because you got beat. You were salty because you didn't have your road dog in Jason Tatum, and you decided that it was time for you to go on social media and say that Joel Embiid flopped. There was only 23 fouls called on the Boston Celtics, while there was 19 called on the 76ers. That's not a big differential.
You said 49 shots. What if they from three? What if he had attacked the basket 25 of those times? How many fouls could you have drawn?
Exactly.
How many times would you have put the defense on their heels and open up a shot for your teammates?
They had Paul George had 4 fouls, Kelly Oubre had 4 fouls, and Tyrese Maxey had 4 fouls. Nobody was in foul trouble for the Boston Celtics except for Quinta, and he was already eliminated. No, he didn't. He played the whole game. He had 5 fouls. So, I mean, I don't understand what he's talking about. Jalen needs to go somewhere with that. Coming up next, we're going to talk Dallas Cowboys. A lot of folks are talking about the Cowboys, but also talking about what happened with George Pickens and why they believe that he signed the franchise tag. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app.
Craig Way knows everybody.
Matt Brown is with us. I'll remember a couple of things. One, when you came in, when you had the double ice bags on your knees, when you had the knee replacement, and you looked at me one night and said, never do both at the same time.
Craig, I was running out on the field and trying to lead the team for the Ohio State game, and I just had a knee replacement, and I tripped. They had some carpet there. I tripped, and I thought my leg was going to come off.
Catch special guests like these and more by listening to The Craig Way Show on AM 1300 The Zone.
From the Lawrence and Lawrence Traffic Center.
There's reports of a new accident causing issues on the service road of I-35 northbound just before Slaughter Lane, as well as ongoing cleanup for an accident on Carl Road at FM 1327. Hopping on Mopac southbound this morning, plan for 10 minutes to be added to your drive, making that transition from Breaker Lane into downtown due to stop-and-go speeds. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Capital One.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X Business Card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Voters are listening to the radio, and they're really listening. If you're running for office, radio gets your message heard, not scrolled past. Reach communities everywhere and be on the air in just 48 hours. Go to winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
iHeart is America's #1 podcast network. Open the free iHeart app and explore podcasts like this.
Just before midnight on Saturday, February 19th, 2005, Danielle Imbo and her friend Richard Patrone left a crowded Philadelphia bar. The two 30-somethings planned to walk to Richard's truck and drive home, but they never made it.
It does not make sense. It's like they literally vanished.
The two were never seen again.
Not just them, but the truck disappeared into the ether.
Was it an accident, or were they murdered?
No one had a motive to kill them.
Those same questions frustrated law enforcement. The FBI called it murder for hire.
Who killed these two individuals and how did they get rid of them?
Both of them weren't the target. One of them was the target. The other one was wrong place, wrong time.
But which victim was the intended target and why?
It was definitely murder for hire for Danielle, not for Richard.
You're right, it could be. But it also could be something your son did too.
No one was looking to kill Richard. No one.
He's your son, and in your eyes, he's innocent. But in my eyes, he's just some guy my sister was with.
Fingers were pointed, allegations were made, and lines were drawn.
That drove the wedge between the families.
What happened to Danielle and Richard?
I think that whatever happened to my dad and Danielle was planned and orchestrated and thought out.
I'm Andrea Gunning. In this series, I dig into my own investigation to find answers for the families and get justice for Richard and Danielle.
I just want some peace for my sister's soul, and I want some peace for my mother.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
Hey, it's Coach Sark. Now back to the morning kickoff with Hardge and Henry on your radio home for the Longhorns, 1300 The Zone.
Morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app. Giving you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go to the game tonight, UTSA, University of Texas, 6:30 first pitch at the Dish. It's going to be an epic matchup. Both of these teams are playing at an elite level. UTSA trying to get into the tournament, and Texas is continuing to roll in the SEC. Number 3
Hard, let me
ranked
ask
team.
you, why do they have Texas number?
I mean, they just come in and they locked in and ready to play. More just like anything else, when you're playing against the University of Texas, sometimes them games just mean a little bit more to everybody else. And I'm not saying that it don't mean nothing to Texas, because Texas is trying to win every single game.
Right.
But, I mean, that's a talented baseball team. They're really, really good. Baseball is a totally different game than where it was before, and they're going to continue to be good. I mean, the state of baseball is at an all-time high because there's just so much talent that is involved in it. So it's a big time matchup, and it's 1-2 because that Texas State, UTRGV, Rice, Houston, whoever it may be, these are all big games for both of these teams, and it's always fun.
It's also because they've been playing against each other. A lot of these guys have been playing against each other since like elementary school. So,
same in football, same in basketball. This is the same thing. AAU stuff.
That competition, you want to beat those guys because, hey, they're at the biggest school.
Mm-hmm.
We want to show we're better.
Yep,
Okay.
No doubt.
That's it.
I want to get into this conversation because the Dallas Cowboys are getting a lot of love, just like the Texas Longhorns. And my boy Chan, yes, The Cowboys are back, Chan. They are back, and I want you to know that. But, as you start to look at what's going on and who they are, the Cowboys are putting themselves in a great, great place. And the other part of this is when you start to look at the Dallas Cowboys, you look at what happened with George Pickens and the fact that he did sign his tender. And Matt Hasselbeck talked about what it is for George Pickens, how this is important for him. But then I'm going to add a little bit more to the context.
Schottenheimer should be pretty excited. It should be hard to match his excitement because, look, you even see the highlights. He's rare, and he might be the most talented Dallas Cowboy. So, and that's saying something because the receiver opposite him would be a number one wide receiver pretty much anywhere he goes. So, look. I do think he can duplicate it. To me, it's always been, is he locked in? Is he focused? That type of thing. His size, speed, and length is incredible. And you pair that with a really good quarterback, you get the numbers you saw a year ago. I would only expect them to grow. I do think betting on himself is the right move. Doing that, I think we'll look a year from now, he's going to be pretty happy with what he's looking at in terms of a long-term contract with somebody.
And I agree with that 100%. He signed the deal, one year, 27.3. It's a great idea. It is something that he probably needed to do. Go out, put up big numbers, get a chance to make a lot of money.
And prove it to yourself and prove it to them.
Yep. And a lot of people are saying that his agent, David Muguleta, was gauging all of the other teams to see if there was going to be a market for him right now. As we've talked about, and I'm not confirming or denying this, and if David wants to call and come on the show, I'm all for it. I would love to have him on the show. But what this states to me is that they understand that nobody was willing to give up that much money because if he goes to a team, he wants to get a full contract. Now you're getting $27.3 million. Next year, you could get $44 million. We looked at what happened, and I always equate this to what I saw with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins bet on himself every single year, and he's got so much guaranteed money.
All of it.
He gets run me all of my money, and he continues to get it because he's a necessity. People need a quarterback. He's making this much money. He's not even the starter.
Man, his agent, man, he need an award for being the best agent of all time.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
That dude gets his guy his money.
He gets him the money. And the thing I'm really excited about for George Pickens is we're getting hopefully a motivated George Pickens, which I truly believe is going to be that. And as far as motivation, the Cowboys are in this spot where they have been motivated. They've been the talk of the town. And Pete Prisco of CBS Sports talked about the Dallas Cowboys and his expectations coming into this season.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And by the way, I'm going to sit here in late April and say it. The Dallas Cowboys are not only going to win the damn division, they're going to be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And how many times have we heard that in Dallas, right?
A lot.
Oh, my God, this is Dallas's year. You know what? For all the criticism that Jerry Jones has taken, and believe me, a lot of it is deserved, when this team takes the field and the way they're constructed right now, new look defense, you add those guys to that defense, you add a pass rusher with twitch, you add the guy in the back end, the Dallas Cowboys are going to score a ton of points on offense. That team is going to be a Super Bowl contender, and they will win the East.
Say what?
Yeah. Didn't I say that?
I mean,
Hardge, you look at this defense. I got it right here. They have Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, Rashawn Gary, D. Winters, Bland, and the potential for Caleb Downs, all to be Pro Bowl caliber players. And 4 of those guys have made Pro Bowls. 4 of the 11 on this grouping And the fringe player that came from the Chargers, who was the backup to Oitu Obanya at nose tackle, he was the odd man out of making a Pro Bowl this year. They went out and filled their defensive card up. So the depth is there as well. It's not like if the nose tackle went down, it's over. No, they have another guy that can spell him. They drafted well at defensive end, so an outside linebacker, because that's where they had problems last year, period, but even more so depth-wise. Osimhen Ure got hurt. Donovan Azaraku got hurt, and then they were done. It was over. That's not the case this year. They went and filled the same thing with the secondary. Not just in the draft. I'm not saying that from just a draft standpoint. I'm saying that they went out and they got guys that can fill. Thompson is Jalen Thompson didn't make the Pro Bowl, but he was a fringe guy. And I think that's what the defense coordinator went and did. He went and got guys that were just there. And he said, you know what? I know how to get you over the top. I can get you over the top. I can coach you up. So that's why there's this optimism, is because the Cowboys were so inept last year on defense that everybody sees all these players that were fringe Pro Bowl players, and they have a defense coordinator that they feel like, and he feels like, I can take you over the hump. That's where the anticipation comes from.
Yep. Yeah. And rightfully so. And, until everything happens on the field, it is what it is. But they went out and got PJ Locke to help with the free safety position.
Another depth piece.
They went and got Kobe Durant, defensive back, who is a lockdown. You got Caleb Downs, who I think is going to be a superstar in this league.
And
you still got Bland that is out there as well.
And he had a broken foot last year trying to play. Like, he's healed up now.
Yep. DeMarvion Overshawn getting his health back, and that is going to be important. And the key part for me was that you kept your special teams with Brian Anger and Brandon Aubrey being able, and Kavontae Turpin being who is what he is. So the Cowboys are going to have a good opportunity to make some things happen. Coming up next, we got the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
A new issue along the service road of I-35 southbound, an accident reported around Runberg Lane. There's also a crash on Carl Road at FM 1327. And looking at the drive this morning over in Manor on 290 westbound, your stop and go coming into town from FM 1100 to FM 973, about a 10-minute out of your commute. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Facing production swings or a tough skills gap, Workforce Solutions from Express Employment Professionals makes hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit ExpressPros.com.
No matter what your view and pleasure is, Rowdy Cowboy has it for you. Hockey, basketball, playoffs, baseball, golf, auto racing. It's all worth watching on one of the 70 big screen TVs. The area's newest, best sports bar is Rowdy Cowboy. But the best view at the Rowdy Cowboy is the Rowdy Cowgirl, bringing top-notch food and beverages to your table, just like you like. You won't want to miss the Rowdy Cowgirls. The Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock on the east side of I-35, just north of the 45 Loop.
The Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream is celebrating America's 250th One Dream at a Time. Next, Angela Yee of iHeartMedia.
The way that I look at it is education. There's things I've done that haven't worked out. Everything does not always work out. I've launched businesses that I've had to just give up. And there's a lot of things that you learn when things don't work out. There's a lot of relationships that you make, and you can take that with you and just say, I paid for an education in something.
Discover more at mcad.org.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can. They've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. But hurry, deadlines to file end next week. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, mostly cloudy skies for your Tuesday, a high in the upper 80s. Tonight, a chance of scattered thunderstorms, a low of 73. Wednesday, isolated thunderstorms possible, a high near 80.
This report is sponsored by Capital One.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X Business Card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. Yep, that's me, Clifford Taylor IV. And on my new podcast, The Clifford Show, I'm bringing you raw, unfiltered conversations with your favorite athletes, creators, and media personalities. Each week, we'll talk about sports, life, mental health, purpose, and even music. The Clifford Show is not just a conversation, it's a celebration.
Search The Clifford Show on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
You heard the beat drop, you know what that means. WWE Hall of Famer and World Strongest Man, the Mark Henry, brings you his World's Strongest Take. Take it away, big fella.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what time it is? It's time for the World's Strongest Take by the World's Strongest Man. Marcus. Back then, they didn't know me. Now that I'm hot, they're all on me. Another edition of the World's Strongest Take. And guys, this is going to sound odd because even for me, a longtime sports fan, it's never seen territory. And it's about the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks started off in the last series against Atlanta down 2-0. Atlanta was bully balling them. They were not allowing Jalen Brunson a chance to get set defensively. Any screen that he took, they rose up and they shot the ball. In those two games, they shot the ball really well. But then the Knicks found out, okay, this is what they're trying to do. So now, rather than fight across the top of a screen, the Knicks decided we're going to push the screen out further, make them take a shot that's not 22 feet, but 24 feet. And they started to miss. And the Knicks were able to win that series once they found out the formula. And that's good coaching, because I was really down on Coach Brown those first 2 games. I'm like, what are you doing? But they went on to beat them by 16, Atlanta by 16. They went to beat Atlanta the following game by 29. And then, of course, they closed out that last game by beating them 51 points. And now they come into the series against the Philadelphia 76ers. And last night they beat them by 39. The first time, guys, the first time in NBA history, the history of the entire league, where a team got beat by 35 plus points 2 games in a row. That's amazing, just to make history, just to say, you know what, we did something that's never been done. But I don't think that is over. I think the Knicks realize that this is the formula that they need to continue to stick to. Pick and rolls, quick shots, push the defense further out, and then try to hurry up and get back and help rebound. Did you see the defensive job and the rebounding that the Knicks did last night against the Sixers? Poor Sixers. I'm up here feeling sorry for them. In the third quarter, they went 16 points unanswered. 16 points in a row, and y'all can't get a free throw or nothing? Hardge, I think the Knicks have figured it out. If they can do this to Oklahoma City. They play guard heavy. Sometimes they'll go 3 guards. If they push these guards out further and not allow them to shoot in the comfortable ranges for them, then they can continue to do this. My take is this. I feel like the Knicks realize what they need to do now, and if they stick to this formula, I think the Knicks can win the championship. What say you?
Knicks are a tough team. I mean, right now they are. We'll see. They won't be able to shoot the ball as well as they shot it tonight. Last night. That'll be ridiculous. They shot 51% from 3-pointers. That's not sustainable. It was nice.
If they shoot 36%, 37, they still beat you by 31. That's ridiculous. I'm just saying.
They out-rebounded the Knicks by 11 over the 76ers, 39-28. You start looking at the second chance points in certain things. As I said, look, the 76ers went out and they dominated the Boston Celtics. They came in this game and they just got boat raced. The game won't be like this again. You've been around sports long enough.
Yeah, pride.
You know that game will be a totally different ball game from what they saw last night. But you can't take anything away from what they did. I mean, they went out and balled out. But I just don't think that's sustainable.
You know, I saw something very dirty, and I felt like, I get on Draymond Green for doing stuff intentionally. Last night, coming around the screen, Josh Hart, he pushed both hands in Joel Embiid's stomach as hard as he could. Joel Embiid folded over like a window shade. Had to leave the game. He just had abdominal surgery less than 2 weeks ago. And he's been out there being a tough guy. But for Josh Hart to do that, it's a little low. But in sports, if your hand is hurt, I'm going after your hand.
Exactly.
If I know your shoulder's hurt, man, we're going to tussle the whole game. And but it's low. It's still low. But nonetheless, I don't think that Joel Embiid is going to be as effective because now they know that when he gets in a rhythm, what to do.
Right.
And that's a horrible feeling, man, to know somebody's going to come after you.
Well, here's the other thing, too. The fact of the matter is the Knicks have 58 points in the paint. There was no presence. Again, not taking anything away from what they did. They played great basketball last night. Numbers were through the roof. Great job. But again, they cannot sustain that. You think that you think the 76ers are going to let them just drive to the basket like that? Somebody getting hurt this week. You got to make them feel it when they go up in there.
I hope that that's the case.
Yeah, they're going to make sure that they may win the game, but they're going to be bruised up and battered because if I know anything about those players over there, Paul George, Kelly Oubre tried to foul somebody hard at one point, but he was trying to be a pretty boy too. So he's got to figure out what he is going to be on this team because he's getting a lot of run. Yeah, Quentin Grimes, another guy that is tough, that will go in there and bang on people. They have to find a way to get back to where they were. Flush that. It's already done. That game is already over with.
Don't even watch that tape.
You can't. The only thing you do need to watch is watch them doing layup line. And then you figure that stuff out. Because if you're getting 58 points in a paint in an NBA game, that's a problem. No inside presence. And you got to figure that out. World's Strongest Take by the World's Strongest Man. Coming up next, we're going to talk Texas baseball and preview tonight's matchups in the NBA. LA headed to Oklahoma. And let's see what they got on it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Phones, laptops, cars, smart speakers.
I use the iHeartRadio app.
All devices, all the time. Your home for the horns. 1300 The Zone.
From the Lorenz and Lorenz Traffic Center.
A couple of crashes this morning on the service roads. I-35 service road southbound, there's an accident at Runberg Lane. There's also an accident on the 290 frontage road heading westbound before Monterey Oaks Boulevard. Over on 2222, there's an accident at the corner of McNeil Drive and some stop-and-go speeds this morning northbound on I-35 from 45 up to William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Dave Matthews Band is coming to Moody Center. May 11th. On sale at livenation.com. Don't miss Dave Matthews Band Live.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With the Ram Declaration of Deals, we're pledging our allegiance to the American people with great deals on the Ram 1500.
Back with the legendary Hemi V8 and the Ram Heavy Duty, with the available Cummins Turbo Diesel delivering 1,075 pound-feet of torque, all backed by a 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Because nothing stops Ram. Hurry in for the declaration of deals. Excludes BEVs, applies to 2026 model year vehicles, not transferable. Visit Mopar.com for complete details and a copy of the powertrain limited warranty. Cummins is a registered trademark of Cummins Inc. Ram and Hemi are registered trademarks of FCA US LLC.
Before they can cheer your name, you've got to make one. At Spurs Sports Academy, we're helping young athletes do just that with year-round basketball camps and tournaments for kids of all ages. It's all part of our mission of inspiring lifelong memories and building character through competition. To find your way to play, text HOOPS to 210-444-5021 or head over to spurs.com/sportsacademy.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
$3,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. Earn cash back with Upside just by filling up your tank. Download Upside now and start earning easy cash back. The more you use Upside, the more you get. Use promo code LIST to get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You got to hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play, that my worth isn't determined by my performance, that even on my worst day, I am worthy, that you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Washington Secondary School Athletic Administrators Association.
Coach Sark here. 1300 The Zone is your flagship home for the Texas Longhorns.
Morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. Tonight, Texas baseball will be taking on UTSA. You still got a chance to win a pair of tickets. All you got to do is get over there, tap that red microphone, and say, I want those tickets. I want those tickets. It'll be a big matchup tonight. You can hear the game on 103.1 FM. You'll also hear from the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way. Craig Way show this afternoon from 2 to 5, and you will get to hear Craig preview the game. But here's the post-game conversation that was had as Texas beat Mississippi State and Coach Jim Slossman.
Coach, we talk about it being a heavyweight fight, but I thought your offense today had to do something. I mean, obviously you look up, you're down 5 after the first inning, and, guys came together. I thought great at bats in one inning. They got some gifts, but those gifts are earned sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we gave up 5 runs with 2 outs in the first inning, I think. But Luke did a great job of pitching after that, and they gave us some base runners in that third or fourth inning, whatever it was. But like you said, we got the hits. Timo, big hit. Borba, big hit. Pack, big hit. So, we shrunk the strike zone a little bit and then put a good swing on good pitches.
And then you found ways in the bullpen to get out. So that's the other thing. Sometimes it may not be the best, but get outs.
Yeah, I thought Crossan obviously making the pitch on Reese was a huge part of the game. Sammy, we've been asking a lot of him lately. So, he gutted his way through it. What we had, first and second, nobody out in a 3-0 count. It went, I think, slider, curveball, and then get a double play ball. That was obviously the game right there.
Well, congratulations.
Right.
Anytime you win them at home, it's good.
Yeah, we'll take them. Take care.
Yep. Anytime you win them at home is always good. And you get another opportunity tonight against UTSA, the final game of a 5-game homestand. And Texas is going to be prepared for it. Then they go on the road to take on Tennessee up in Knoxville. So that'll be a big challenge for them as well. Tonight, we got NBA basketball once again, and NBA Fantastic, as the folks likes to say. Tonight, the game will be the Cavaliers taking on the Pistons on the road. Detroit found a way to get it done so good that they got a coach fired from the Orlando Magic. And then the night game after that, you will have the Lakers traveling to OKC. Cavaliers and the Pistons, the spread is 3.5 Detroit. The Lakers and the Thunder, OKC is a 15.5-point favorite in this matchup.
15 points.
15.
Wow, that's a royal whooping right there. I mean, if that's a royal whooping, what was that the Knicks gave?
Yeah, but that game was supposed to be closer than that. That Knicks game was supposed to be tighter than that. So you never know what's going to happen when you get into the NBA playoffs. I don't look at this as being a 15.5-point game. I think LeBron and his crew are way better than that. They got Austin Reeves back. This is a different thing, but the defending champion, OKC Thunder, they're just a different squad, man.
They just have too many dogs, too many horses in the race. When a group of guys get tired, they send another group of guys in that's just as good almost. Yep. Other than Shea Gilders, Alexander, and their power forward, who's 7'2", I think.
Yeah. Chet Holmgren.
It's hard to beat that.
So you start to look at this matchup. This won't be a sweep. LeBron will not get swept.
I don't think they'll get swept, but I don't look at the Lakers winning this series. I think
we all thought that they were going to be done. Like, they did enough to get here. Congrats.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. You just prolonged your vacation for another week. But
what is the long-term health status of Luka?
Well, I just saw a report that said Luka is not close to returning. So I don't know if that's true. We didn't think that Anthony Edwards was going to play in the first game, and he went out there. Now, I'm not saying Luka is not Anthony Edwards or he's not going to be ready to play. That's not my call. But the report is he's not close to returning. So we'll see what happens. If they go through this and run through this side of it, are the Thunder still the best team, and are they the prohibitive favorite to win the tournament? I mean, to win the championship again?
I think that if they run through the Lakers the way that I think they are, they'll be rested and waiting on the Spurs in the championship game. I think the Spurs are going to bounce back, guys. Don't give up this easy. They shot the ball horribly. That just like you said, that the Sixers will not shoot that bad again. I don't think the Spurs will shoot that bad again either.
Yeah, it's just hard when you start to think about how that wins. So right now, the odds, as of right now, today, OKC minus 155, the Spurs are plus 475, the Knicks are plus 850, and the Detroit Pistons are plus 1,700. They still believe that the Timberwolves are not going to get it done. The Lakers are at the bottom, and the 76ers are the absolute worst odds, but with plus 6,000. They're behind the Lakers after last night's performance.
Wow. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. I think that the Lakers have the potential if LeBron plays the way that he did those last two games.
Right.
But he can't sustain that. Like, it's you play like Superman and you end up the series playing like Clark Kent.
Clark Kent, huh? Let's see what happens.
He's going to wear out. Those other guys won't step up.
Clark Kent is still Superman.
Yeah, but the portrayal of Clark Kent is a lesser, weaker, aloof, unconfident version of what Superman is.
Yeah, but
that's the way Superman views humanity.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm looking at this a little bit different. I think they covered a 15.5. I might talk to some people and see what they got going on.
Talk to your cousin. He would know
what ends up happening with that right there. See if I can get these props taken.
And if you have a problem,
yeah, 1-800 Sorsby. we'll figure out what's going to happen with him tomorrow. We'll definitely talk about
his source be?
Yeah, we're going to end up having a conversation about him because he may not be done as of yet. So we shall see. For Mark Henry, for Marcus, for our guy Joe Cook of Inside Texas, make sure you stay locked in all day long. Dan Patrick, followed by Colin Cowherd, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, Bucky and BK, and, of course, Round Rock Express Baseball, all heard right here. For Texas Longhorn Baseball, get on that iHeartRadio app, but it will be on 103.1 FM tonight with the voice, Craig Way. And just remember this, folks, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work